and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So we are no longer going to have the disclaimer video play at the beginning of each video. I think it's kind of redundant. So from now on, that will be prominently displayed in the description. But I thought it would be really fun if instead we had a question of the day. So that way we can be a little bit more interactive here as a community. And I really love your feedback and I love to read your comments. So with that being said, to piggyback off of my last question about when do you bring out your Christmas decorations, are you a traditionalist when it comes to Christmas and the holidays? Do you decorate with bright colors, red and green, or are you someone who is more of a monochromatic decorator? You stick with one color, or maybe you have the brand new plain aesthetic where you do white and muted colors. Let me know how you decorate your home down below. For me, I have no idea what I'm going to do. My house looks like a garage sale threw up in it. Quite a few different patterns and styles and colors. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do the traditional Christmas decor or maybe just the new white decor. But leave it down below, guys. I can't wait to see your comments. But we have a lot of juicy Royal Daily Tea to get through. So sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So it looks like Parliament for the very first time is now bringing up the very important question if Prince Harry and Prince Andrew should stay as Counsellors of State. Labour peer Viscount Stangate raised the issue in the House of Lords, asking if the government planned to amend the Regency Act. He questioned whether ministers should discuss, quote, a sensible amendment with the king, adding, otherwise, are the government happy to continue with the situation where the Counsellors of State and Regency powers may be exercised by the Duke of York and the Duke of Sussex, one of who has left public life and the other who has left the countries. Now, the king reportedly wants the law amended so his Counsellors of State are all working royals, but he will need a change in legislation. Now, the 1937 Regency Act states that only the sovereign's spouse and the next four in the line of succession who are all over the age of 21 can act as Counsellors of State. Now, the current Counsellors of State are Queen Consort, Prince William, Prince Harry, the Duke of York, and his eldest daughter, Princess Beatrice. But none of the last three are actually working royals, while the Queen's other children, Princess Anne and Prince Edward, are 16th and 13th in line to the throne. So in order to change that, he will need an act of Parliament and a change to the 1937 Regency Act. So the fact that they are now discussing it, this could be a moment in history, guys, where they're now changing the rules. And I think it's about time. I think people would actually vote for this, because do we want Prince Andrew or Prince Harry making important decisions? Now, a Counsellor of State, they are authorized to carry out most of the king's official duties, including attending Privy Council meetings, signing routine documents, and receiving the credentials of new ambassadors to the UK. But the core constitutional functions would include dissolving Parliament, appointing a Prime Minister, creating peers, and can be only delegated on the express instruction of the monarch. So I personally feel that Andrew and Harry don't need to be in that position at all, and I would much rather have Prince Edward and Princess Anne. So hopefully this will now get the ball rolling and have Harry and Andrew removed as the Counsellors of State. I don't mind Princess Beatrice, but I don't feel like she really has any real royal experience, as she's not a working royal. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that the Regency Act should be changed where only relevant working royals should be able to take on that role? Well, it looks like over the next 24 months, we're going to get a huge royal tour. King Charles is planning a huge global tour to kick off his reign, starting with visits next year up to Australia, New Zealand, and the Caribbean, as well as a 2-year blitz to shore up support for the crown. He is going to follow in the footsteps of his mother, who had a huge Commonwealth tour in 1953. Now, the royal couple will also visit France and Germany to help build up relationships in a post-Brexit era. Now, we do know that a lot of countries in the Commonwealth, especially in the Caribbean, they definitely want to break away from the Commonwealth and become independent republics, but I still feel like King Charles and Camilla will be welcome in those countries and they would be happy to receive them. And quite frankly, I love when Camilla and Charles travel. I think he's such a good sport and they always look like they're having a lot of fun. So I think over the next 2 years, guys, we're going to have a lot of really fun tours. I really did enjoy watching Catherine and William on their past couple of Caribbean tours, and I believe that they're also planning a huge tour in 2023. So right after Meghan Markle had announced that she is 43% Nigerian, there was a press release that accompanied the latest episode of her Spotify podcast, saying that her and Harry were going to donate an unspecified amount to Nigerian charities to help them after devastating floods. Now, the floods in the country blamed by the government on heavy rain and water released from a dam in neighboring Cameroon have killed more than 600 people, displaced around 1.4 million, and damaged or destroyed 444,000 acres of farmland across Nigeria. So it is a very horrible situation that is happening. Meanwhile, Save the Children Nigeria tweeted, more than 1.5 million children are at risk after devastating flooding in Nigeria. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Archwell Foundation has donated to Save the Children in Nigeria as our teams deliver life-saving supplies to affected families. Now, I think it's great that they're donating to a charity. I'm not going to bag on them for donating because obviously there is major relief and help that is needed for the poor people of Nigeria. But I do find it a little ironic that she's donating to Nigeria after she announces she's 41% Nigerian. Now, I did miss a couple of points. Of course, my lovely followers let me know. Apparently, Ziwi, the comedian, is actually Nigerian, which I didn't know that. So now I know why Meghan said she's 43% Nigerian. She's literally trying to encompass the persona of her guest. Now, I'm not saying Meghan Markle isn't 43 Nigerian because obviously I don't have that information. But considering the fact that her father is white and that her mother apparently is also biracial, 43% Nigerian is a very, very large amount for one race. That's just my opinion. So I do find it a little suspect that she was interviewing a comedian from Nigeria and she just happens to be 43% Nigerian. Again, she's definitely trying to be the angry black woman, so she's pumping up the numbers to prove it. It's like Meghan is literally the single white female of the podcasting world. And for the people in the back who don't understand what the single white female reference is, it's a movie from the 1990s starring Bridget Fonda, where she gets a roommate who answers the ad for a single white female looking for a roommate. And the roommate literally takes on her persona, copies her, and tries to be her. So when I say Meghan is the single white female of the podcasting world, I literally mean she is trying to take on the persona of every single person she interviews. It's like Meghan is taking method acting to a whole new level. You don't have to steal people's personas, sweetheart, to interview them. You don't have to have anything in common with every single person you interview. It is okay to be different. But it's like Meghan is still acting. It may not be a movie, but she's literally method acting. Oh, today I'm going to be Julia Roberts. And tomorrow I'm going to be an angry black woman. And tomorrow I'm going to be a bimbo. And tomorrow I'm going to be the cool California mom. I'm going to be the brainiac. It's like she literally puts on a new persona every single day. She's literally method acting. Someone needs to call, cut. Meghan, you're not on stage anymore. You don't need to keep acting. You can just be yourself. But she's literally like a chameleon. Does she even know who she is? Is the woman always acting? It's bizarre. I'm sorry, it's weird. The fact that she came out with a story saying that she was 43% Nigerian, interviewing a Nigerian comedian, and the week before she knows about Korean culture because she had a Korean friend and went to a Korean spa and ate noodles to find out that her life story apparently was done in a cartoon. It's just weird. It's like you can't make it up. Really? And then the whole thing with being a bimbo on Deal or No Deal, and people are coming out saying it's not true. The whole thing about Archie and the fire and people singing in the streets like they did when Mandela was released from prison. Not true. When is she going to get it that she's really not believable anymore? I'm sorry. I don't believe you that you're 43% Nigerian. I believe 7 years ago, she said she was from Malta. Remember that little thing that she did, appeared on a TV show, tracing her roots to Malta? Very weird. I mean, next week she's going to be Jamaican. Here's a funny article. I saw this article that somebody was like, the royal family is hiding behind couches because they're scared of Harry and Meghan's docuseries. You know, I don't think they are. I don't think they are. You know why? Because Harry and Meghan are proven themselves to be unreliable sources of truth. They are the spreaders of misinformation covered in what they call their truth. Well, their truth is not the truth. And I think more and more people are really starting to see it. I mean, the woman is like literally taking on the personas of her guests. She changes her narratives like we change our clothes. You know what I mean? Whatever the PR team tells her to do, she does. It's bizarre. Even Harry contradicts himself. You know, he talked at that conference about how it wasn't until Meghan came around and told him about therapy. You can go to therapy and get some help. And it wasn't until Meghan saved him that she helped him get the therapy he needed. But yet on the Oprah Winfrey interview, when Meghan, his pregnant wife, needed some serious help, he didn't know what to do, y'all. He sat in the corner and counted the hairs on his heads and said, "Mommy, what do I do? I don't know what to do." But somehow Meghan was able to help him get counseling, but when she needed help, he had no clue. No clue. But then Meghan let it slip that he gave her a referral. Remember that in the last podcast? She got the referral and the lady was checking out at the grocery store with the beep, beep. "Oh, hi, Meghan. How are you?" But then she told the story of how HR told her no. But then she got the referral from Harry, who said he didn't know what to do. But then he says that Meghan saved him by giving him a referral for counseling. But then he said the year before that his brother William had saved him. So can we connect the dots here? What is what? What happened first? I mean, what came first, guys, the chicken or the egg? Because I'm confused. Again, we're speaking Meghanese. So I'm not worried about their stupid docuseries because I guarantee you it's going to be like Oprah Winfrey on steroids, where we're just going to sit here and poke the holes. Poke, poke, poke. It's going to be a fun bingo game. So whenever it hits the airs, guys, we're just going to do a live. We're going to have some wine and some bingo and see if we can point out the inconsistencies and misinformation. And let me tell you, the royal family is not hiding behind any couch. They're out doing royal duties because that's what royals do. Look, we know there's going to be a group of people who are going to believe anything that Harry and Meghan say, and that's okay because I do believe that number is diminishing every single day. I'm out here doing the Lord's work, y'all, educating people one person at a time. But literally, the woman steals people's personas. They can't get their lies straight. It's hilarious and it's kind of sad at this point. They contradict themselves so much. Even the people who are working on Netflix and the memoir were like getting pissed because their stories weren't matching. So I think they're going to be their own demise with their own lies can only get you so far. But I'm not worried about the royal family, guys. They're just going to keep on and moving. That's my opinion. But what do you guys think of the Parliament having a meeting in regards to changing the Regency Act? Do you think that Prince Harry and Prince Andrew will be removed as Counsellors of State? What do you think about Harry and Meghan donating to the Nigerian charities and Meghan, who's now the new Nigerian superstar? And do you think the new docu-series is going to cause major damage to the royal family, or do you think it's going to be the undoing of Harry and Meghan? Thank you guys so much for stopping by my channel. Please leave your comments down below and make sure, guys, that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Many people are telling me they're being unsubscribed. I'm not unsubscribing. So make sure, guys, you subscribe and hit the bell. Go over and check me out over on TikTok and my other social media accounts. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.